Hey there, welcome to the Powerful Marketing Tips Podcast. We created this podcast for you, overwhelmed business owners who want to build, run, and organize their marketing for good. And here are your hosts, Marilise and Laura.
It's Laura here. Productivity and time management are popular topics, not only for those who are on the professional development or self-improvement journey, but these things are increasingly talked about more and more in the media as well. We are all in such a hurry all the time. Years fly by while we keep waiting for the suitable time to do a task or an activity that we have been procrastinating on, right? Well, there is no such thing as time management. We cannot slow down time. We cannot make it go faster. We can only control what we do with the time that we have. And if you do not plan ahead and if you do not stick to a calendar, then I'm sorry, you are allowing others to steal your time. A few episodes ago, I talked about calendar planning. If you haven't seen it yet, then I recommend you to go find the episode called 7 Steps to Effective Calendar Management, because this is definitely step number 1 on the so-called time management journey. But to understand where your time goes and whether you stay on track, my advice is to use a time tracking app, for example, Toggl.com. In fact, this is what I will be showing you today as I will share my screen. So again, if possible, I advise you to watch this episode on YouTube. But if not, don't worry, I will do my best to explain what is happening on the screen. So why you should track your time in the first place? Well, firstly, to understand where your time actually goes. It may seem to you that you spend just 5 minutes here and there on a simple mundane task, but when you look at the longer period, it may actually account for hours of your time wasted. So instead of guessing and estimating, just look at the facts and numbers. Reason number 2 is that it will discipline you to focus on the task at hand. You know that you are tracking the time for a certain task, and therefore you are less likely to start multitasking and switching tasks midway through. And reason number 3 is that it will give you valuable information about how you could improve productivity and also your efficiency. Okay, enough of theory, time to move on to real life. I will now share my screen and show a sample Toggl track account that I just created. And by the way, Toggl is something that I have personally used since the beginning of my career, and I really love this app. But obviously there are many alternatives available, so just find something that works for you and stick with it. Okay, let's go. Okay, so you should be seeing something on the screen right now if you are on YouTube, and if you are not, then let's just go. So right now there is a spider dangling on the website, which is the Toggl homepage, and that is because we have no time entries yet. How it works is that you have always a task that you are, working on, and you can just write it here in the description, and then it's just like a regular timer. You press play, and then once you are done, you press stop. But if you are not organizing your time entries, it will just create a lot of chaos for you, because you can imagine that during a work day, you likely have 20, maybe even 30 time entries. And if you look at an even bigger picture, then over the course of a month, you may have hundreds of time entries. And it is very hard to analyze where your time actually goes, and you will have to put in more time to actually understand what is happening. So first of all, my advice is to organize how you are going to track your time. For that, there are 2 places that you can use in Toggl. There are projects and there are clients. If you do have actual clients that you work with, then come to the clients section first and then just add all of your clients. So let's say it's client A, just create a client, then it's client B, and let's also make another one with client C. However, if you are not working with clients and you are just working within your business, then you can just use this field to describe different activities that you're working on. Let's say strategic activities, maybe it's HR activities, finances, marketing, sales, whatever it is. Just think, what are the categories that you want to use to later on analyze where your time goes. So once we have clients, we can now move on to projects. This is the second dimension that you can use. So if you have clients, think under each client, what are the typical task categories? For example, it can be planning, it can be reporting, it can be meetings, it can be just, activities that you are doing as part of your service. If you do not have clients, then again, this is the place that you can use to categorize your tasks even further. So if you had like sales, let's say, as the client, then under that you can add, subcategories. So let's just create a sample here. So let's say our project is going to be meetings. So it's meetings with a client. And now we will choose the client that we did this category for. So client A. And if you are doing this alone, then it can remain private. If you have team members inside Toggl, then just keep it public and create project. And now you can create similar projects for other clients as well. So let's say we also have meetings with client B. And maybe we have, let's say, planning and budgeting for client C. And you can make as many as needed. Once you have set all of it up, let's go back to the home page, so the timer page. So right now, when we are writing down the task, we always have to think of the category that it fits into. So let's say what we are working on is invoicing. It can be whatever. And let's now go to the folder. And under the folder, you can now see client A projects, client B projects, client C projects. Let's say it is part of client C, planning and budgeting. And you have another option to also add tags if there is something that you want to filter even further. So let's say it is monthly tasks. And once you're ready, just press play. And as soon as you're done, press stop. If you accidentally press stop too soon or you mess something up like I did, then just go to the time entry, 3 dots, and you can edit the project. Yeah, here we go. Let's say that actually this took me not 0 seconds, but 20 minutes. Enter. And there we go. We can add another one here as well. So let's say we had the client meeting with client A, so it's meetings. And we want to add a tag. So let's say it is team. Again, you can press play, or if you were at the meeting and you want to add this time entry later, you can add this manually as well. So let's say this happened from 10 a.m. until 12 p.m. Okay. So right now we have already 2 time entries. Imagine if you have a lot of time entries. Then this is when the fun part begins. This is when the analyzing begins. You go to reports, and under reports, you will see the total time that you have tracked. And also you can group it either by project or by client. Or if you have other team members, you can also group it by users who are in the same team with you. So let's say we want to group it by a project and then also by users. So you can see that per project, team member A has spent 2 hours, team member B has spent 3 hours, team member C has spent 15 minutes. And you can see the total amount, and you can also see it in more detail. And you can also see longer periods. So for example, right now I have this week here. We can check last 12 months. I don't have any data here since I just created it, but this is how it works. And it's very simple. It can seem at first like you need to put in a lot of time to track everything, but trust me, it will be so automatic soon that you don't even mind putting it in. Okay, and there you have it. I hope it was helpful. I encourage you to give it a try and track every task that you do for at least 2 weeks. This way, you will already start seeing some patterns and it will help you to plan better for the future. Thank you so much for tuning in today. I hope to see you here again soon. Take care and bye-bye.
That's all we've got for this episode of the Powerful Marketing Tips podcast. Make sure to link up with us at our free monthly international mastermind event. Just go to powerful-marketers.com/mastermind for registration. And one thing that would really help us and other new potential listeners is if you would rate this show and leave a comment wherever you tune in to listen. Until next time, take care.